How do you determine the list price for a lake house? So here on Cherokee Lake, I will get calls from people who own a lake home and they're like, I don't even really know how you comp these things because there's so many different variables that go into determining what a lake home is worth. So I always tell them this is kind of a short list of things that I take into consideration when I am pricing a lake house. The first thing is it on the main channel or is it in a cove? Obviously, main channel homes are going to sell for more money than a house that's located on a cove that may not even have water at the foot of the property during the winter months. We also look at, is this property dockable? If so, do they already have a dock? And if not, can they apply to get a permit to put a dock there? Having a dock is automatically going to add value because the price of installing docks, like everything else the past few years, has went through the roof. So having a dock, especially a covered dock with a nice sunbathing area, things like that, is definitely going to add value to a lake house. How far is it from the house down to the water, and how does the land lay between the house and the water? If it's a steep drop to get from the house to the water, so that somebody is probably going to have to be in pretty good shape in order to navigate that and maneuver down, probably not going to get as much money as someone who has a very level yard that they can just easily walk down to the water's edge and get on their dock. What kind of views does your home have? A lot of times we are restricted by TVA when it comes to cutting trees down. So if you did not have the forethought when you were building your home to clear those trees and stuff, are you able to really see the lake, the mountains, all those things from the home, or do you have to really get down to the dock in order to have a great view? That's going to play into the price of the home as well. Another thing we look at are what kind of amenities does your subdivision have? Some of our communities on the lake are going to be gated. They are going to have a clubhouse with maybe a workout room, a small library, a meeting place, things like that. They're going to typically have a boat ramp. They're going to have a marina or a dock for people who own lots in the interior of the subdivision so that they have a place to keep their boats as well. Some of the lake subdivisions have pools. They may have tennis courts, basketball courts, things like that. So any amenities that your subdivision offers will also factor into the price of the home. Probably the biggest thing is going to be what kind of floor plan do you have and what kind of finishes are in your home. So if your lake house was built 30, 40 years ago and you've not really done updates, that's going to affect the value of the home versus a house that's been built in the past 5 to 10 years or that has underwent a major remodel or renovation. The size of the lot is probably the last factor we'll talk about. If you are in one of these lake subdivisions where maybe you're inside the city limits of Morristown, so you don't have to have a half acre or so. If you have a half acre to an acre, maybe even 2 acres, that is also going to play a part in what your home is worth. So whereas if we're looking at homes here in Morristown in a subdivision, you can kind of spot check what other homes in that development have sold for. It's going to give you a pretty good idea of, okay, we're going to be in this price range. But a lake house is going to be very difficult to price unless an agent physically comes to your home and looks at it so that we can answer all these questions and be able to look at other lake homes that have sold and help you come to a true market value. So if you're thinking about selling your Cherokee Lake home this spring and summer, please reach out to me. I do have tons of experience in helping people on Cherokee Lake get the most money for their home and sell it in the least amount of time.